is going on? Welcome back to the AM Drive. I'm Mike. He's Aaron. And God forbid if it isn't Kyle freaking Guy, the 2016 Mr. Indiana Basketball, 2019 Final Four Most Outstanding Player. Kyle, what's going on, dude?
How you doing, guys?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks so much for coming on. It's freaking awesome. I've never interviewed an NBA player. It's kind of cool. We are presented by Fanatics. Click the Fanatics logo on MikeandAaronDrive.com to shop your favorite team, whether it be NBA, NFL. It's all in full swing. We're ready to go. They got daily specials. Fanatics logo on MikeandAaronDrive.com. All right, Kyle. Let's get right to it, bro. Before you were a national champion, by the way, you guys did get upset the previous year by UMBC, the number 16 seed. Explain the transition of that from that loss to getting back into the groove of things.
Yeah, it was a really rough time for probably the next month or so for myself and most of my teammates, especially the seniors. I didn't get a chance to redeem the same way that the underclassmen did. And that's why, like, when we lost to UMBC, the first thing that I did and most of the guys did was go apologize to the seniors because, we had a chance to maybe make it right the next year. And, obviously we're not fortune tellers. We didn't know that it was going to play out the way that I did, but we definitely apologized to them because they didn't get the same redemption that we did. But I mean, all of the seniors that were on that team were able to be in Minneapolis and watch. So that was pretty cool to do that for them and for ourselves. But that whole off season, the whole summer, it was just the most focused I've ever been. And up to that point, and probably one of the most memorable off seasons I've ever been a part of. Just Coach Bennett is such a leader, and he did such a great job just making sure that we had our head on straight and we knew what the objectives were, and just getting through a really tough time. It was super memorable. It honestly made us closer because we had no one to rely on but ourselves.
It is awesome. I'm sure to have an amazing head coach, one of the big time college coaches in Tony Bennett. You mentioned how much he helped keep you guys mature in that situation. Now, for yourself, I remember watching this like it was yesterday. You guys played Texas Tech. You made some clutch shots, some clutch free throws. What is the satisfaction, though, of being named most outstanding player of that tournament and the Final Four?
Yeah, that's the stuff that kids dream of, and I'm a big dreamer, always have been, got a big imagination. So playing basketball with my buddies in the backyard growing up, this is what we were basically envisioning when we were pretending to be people. Mario Chalmers for Kansas or Jim or whatever it was, we were pretending to be that. And so to have a chance to shoot the free throws in the Final Four and then get named most outstanding player was, like I said, dream come true. Super humbled. I personally think DeAndre Hunter probably deserves a little more than me, but at the end of the day, it was a team effort, and it's the only reason that we were able to win is because we had to go through so much before that. So
I loved watching the Mamadi Diacates. How do you say that guy's name? Ty Jerome. That was a good old team, man.
Yeah, we were really good. I think we didn't I remember when we got to the championship, everyone's like, it's gonna be a snooze fest because two defensive teams, but we were so capable. We had the best offensive team in the country based on numbers, maybe not points per game, but based on numbers and based on talent, we were by far and away the best offensive team as well. So it was just ironic that everyone thought it was going to be a snooze fest, and we went to overtime, 85 points, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, talk about that Final Four game for you. What was the mentality or the mindset when you get fouled in the corner? You got, a second left on the clock. You got to hit three free throws. You talk about, every kid dreaming about the most outstanding player, but the one we dread the most is having to hit free throws when the game is on the line. What was going through your mind then?
Yeah, I was really mad when I first got fouled because it felt so good. I thought it was just going to go in. So people thought I didn't know I got fouled, but I did. I was just frustrated because the shot felt good. And I'm a firm believer if he didn't foul me, it probably would have went in because it was just short. But you know, I knew I had to get my mind right immediately. So I just went to free throw line. And like you said, like this is also things that we dream of, like hitting a game winner, hitting free throws to go to the national championship. Like you couldn't write a movie script better. So that's what I told myself, honestly. I was like, look, this is the chance you've always wanted. You're in front of, you know, 5-10 million people watching, 80,000 here right now in the Viking Stadium. So like Russ always said, like, why not you? So why not me? So that's what I told myself, and you know, just had to knock them all down.
Totally fair. All right, let's move on to the NBA process here, because you were drafted by one team, then traded to another. I know you were obviously watching that, you know, and with anticipatory with your family and everything. But like when the Knicks drafted you, what was your initial sense of like happy, sad? Did you want to go there? And then when you were traded, you know, was it just like, all right, let's go. I'm ready to get, you know, be an NBA ball player. Like what was that night like?
Yeah, I knew I was going to Sacramento the whole time.
Okay.
The reports obviously don't come as quick as like my agents tell me. So
sure.
That's fair.
They said this is like sent me a text at pick 54, and they said, hey, this is you, 55 Sacramento. And I texted back and said Sacramento ? Because I knew it was New York, and they said they traded for it. And so I was confused at first because I was like, I mean, I didn't work out for New York. I didn't interview with them, but maybe they're just like, you know, we're
taking
always
a
interested.
chance.
They just didn't think I was going to drop, or they thought they were going to get somebody else or whatever. So, you know, but I had 2 really good workouts with Sacramento. I'd say my 2 Sacramento workouts and my Indiana workout were my best workouts. So I knew they were always going to be interested towards the back end of the draft. And so I knew beforehand that I was going to Sacramento. And after everyone settled down from screaming that I got drafted, I told them, I was like, look, I'm going to Sacramento. But which, you know, weather, better, taxes, pretty much the same. So
fair enough. You talked about those workouts. What were those like? Take us through one of those workouts. You said your best workouts were with Sacramento. Take us through one of those. Yeah,
I mean, they're only like an hour long, and they get you maybe an hour and a half because they do testing. So you're like 30 minutes of like height, weight, wingspan, vertical, you know, all these things, agility, speed, stuff that they take into account that they just want in their database. And so that's like the first 20, 30 minutes, and you get warmed up, and you know, it's a couple drills to get you even more primed and ready to go. Then you do some one-on-one stuff, and then you end it with 3-on-3. There's only 6 guys in a workout, unless you have a private workout, but it's 6 guys a workout, so you can run 3-on-3. And yeah, and then afterwards, if teams are super interested, they'll interview there before the combine also. But yeah,
that's awesome stories, dude. I love hearing from an NBA player, like from a professional player, what it's like knowing that Twitter's like, oh, whoa, just like, oh, tweeted this out, but Kyle's like, I already knew that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not something that we're ever going to experience, so it's kind of nice to know, you know, what it works. Because I didn't know, like, I think the 3-on-3 thing was what sounds the most awesome to me, because it's just pick up basketball at that point, but you're playing for NBA franchises.
Yeah,
watching
you're playing for a job, so it can't be as sporadic as an actual 3-on-3 game. So you got to really dial it in.
So the G League, because you have spent some time there, and being a second-round draft pick, you do that. I actually love they call it the G League now, not the D League anymore. I think it's cool to have the Gatorade behind that. Mm-hmm. How important is the G League to developments? I know, like I said, from a second-round pick yourself, you have to appreciate that more. How important do you believe the G League is for the future and just for yourself?
I love the G League, honestly. I really enjoyed being down there. It kind of reminded me like of college. Everyone down there is 18 to 25, like hungry, trying to get a job. Awesome. You have roommates on the road, which you don't in the NBA. Like, I enjoyed that camaraderie. Like, it was like another year of college, kind of. And so I really enjoyed it. I think the G League is probably the second best league in the world, maybe third, fourth. It's, I mean, definitely top 5. You want to talk about, you know, the Spanish league's really good. There's a lot of good leagues overseas as well, but pound for pound, G League's definitely top 5 in the world. So nice. I'm not surprised that guys are like skipping college to go there, because the competition is great. Obviously, the guys that are skipping college are getting paid more than most G League guys, so It's a little different. But like I said, there's real talent down there. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed playing for Stockton. it was nice not having to live in Stockton. Like we all lived in Sacramento, and we just drove to Stockton to play games. So it was like 25 times a year. So I really enjoyed it.
So me and Aaron had a little debate that kind of spouted from the college football weekend. I said that Alabama could beat like the worst team in the NFL in the last 10 years you can think of. He says no, and I'm getting like a lot of heat for this, but it's funny how that plays into is the G League tougher than the ACC juggernauts, and if so, by how much?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, in college, you maybe have a little bit better of a game plan because you have less games, you have a little bit more time to focus in on your opponent. Whereas the G League, it's just like the NBA. You'll have a back-to-back with 2 different teams in 2 different cities, so you don't have time to prepare the same way for one team you do the other. So it's a little different. I mean, the G League, you got probably 2 to 3 guys every team that have touched the league at one way or another, maybe 1 or 2, but and then you got another 3 guys that have touched real money overseas, and they're trying to make a last run at the NBA. So the difference with the NBA and the G League is just whether you play good defense or not, guys are still going to hit shots. And in college, you can play, aside from like, top 10 players in the country, like a Jason Tatum or Zion, whatever it is. Like, if you play good defense, you can make them miss, and you can't do that in professional sports.
That's fair. Nobody did that better than Virginia those years. I tell you what.
Yeah,
you did play against Zion,
but even then, I mean, Jason Tatum had 30 against us. Dwayne Bacon had 28 and hit a game winner on us. Like, there's some guys in college that you can't stop, but there's whole teams you can't stop in professional.
That's totally fair.
Jason Tatum, I remember watching that again. I think I was watching that game against y'all. I was like, this guy's going to be – he was only hitting mid-range jumpers, but he was like, man, this guy's smooth.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and watch that tape, Isaiah Wilkins was guarding him. He was ACC Defensive Player of the Year that year. Like, every shot was tough. There was no, like, gimmies. Oh, yeah. He was just knocking them down. I think he had 33, 34 maybe, which is absurd. The only other person that had that many points and was that dominant was Carson Edwards in the Elite 8. So
love Carson.
40, so, and that's one of the better performances of all time. So
for sure.
Yeah, I actually, because the summer league's right here in my backyard, and before we were, scheduled to have you on, I was watching some of those summer league games because it's, again, right down the street from where I live here. Right. And you played the summer league this year with the Warriors franchise. Yep. Talk about the summer league again, not the G League, not college. Summer league again, guys are still competing for jobs. And I see here your stats. You scored 15 points against the Magic. One of your one of your summer league games here. Like, what's the vibe of summer league? Because that one feels more like Uncle Drew kind of style. But again, you're still playing for a job here.
Yeah, it's definitely not Uncle Drew in the sense that, like, we're not trying to play that way. It's just you don't get any time to work with your team. Like, I came late. Like, the Warriors were already playing. They played in California Classic the weekend before. They had been practicing, had training camp. I just showed up in Vegas and like basically got thrown into the fire. So that's why it's so sloppy, is because 1, guys are so young, they're coming from college. Okay. Number 2, there's not like real practice time. You don't know who you're playing with. There's no chemistry building, anything like that. So, but I enjoy it. I like summer league. I like being able to have the ball in my court and, control my destiny and fight for what I think I deserve. At the same time, being in Vegas for, 15 days is like 3 years off your life. So, I know. Like on the strip, like off the strip is probably different, but being on the strip every single day for 15 days, like,
oh my God.
I tell you what, I moved here 8 years ago and I said the same thing. I'm like, dude, I've got to get away from this place if I want to live. So off the strip's a lot different, but you're right. Yeah, right. The Vegas Strip can take years off your life in a matter of hours. That's totally fair.
Other than that, it was great. Like, I really enjoyed playing with the Warriors. They play super similar to like the actual Warriors play. So, and getting to see Kuminga and Moody up close, they're tremendous talents, and now we're kind of cool. So it's it's always a good experience, and I get to play in front of 30 teams, and now the Warriors have me in their system. So
let's go.
Although I'm probably not going to play for them this year, I'm not going to sign.
You got to wait, Mike. You got to wait.
Although I'm not going to sign with them, they have now seen me in their system. They know what I'm about, and in years to come, maybe it comes to fruition.
Fair enough.
Okay, I have to ask you about this before we let you go and take all your time away. The Kyle Guy Foundation, I did not realize you were so involved in that kind of stuff until I looked at your Twitter. I was like, what is this about? You like playing golf, raising money. I looked on the website, great website, KyleGuyFoundation.com. Explain that a little bit for us before you head out.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking. Basically, I'm just giving another avenue for people to donate to causes that they want to support or they feel strongly about. We're not tied down to just one. That's my biggest thing. Like I'm kind of like Stretch Armstrong. Sometimes I do too much, but like I don't want to be tied down to just one cause because there's so many things in this world that need fixing. So we raised over $60,000 this past weekend at my second annual golf outing in Indianapolis. So that was huge. And like I said, you can donate at KyleGuyFoundation.com. Hit us up on Instagram or Twitter, and basically you just tell us what you want to support, and we help funnel your money to the right organizations and nonprofits.
That's awesome. Do I gotta give you applause for that one?
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, and I'm a big golfer myself, so if I can ever get one of those,
there you go.
We get one here in Vegas, I'm in.
We were 5th. I was, it doesn't look great to win your own tournament, but I'm a competitor, so I wanted to. But we were 11 under, 15 under 1, so it was a great week.
I feel like it's more humbling to let someone else win your own tournament.
Yeah. We were thinking about if we won, just kind of like turning in a different scorecard and just like knowing pride-wise we won, but we only shot 11 under, so. Only
11 under. Kudos.
Thanks, Kyle, a lot for coming on, dude. You were awesome. We got to reschedule you, and I feel like this went pretty well. So thank you so much. And shout out to everyone, Kyle J. Guy on Twitter and KyleGuyFoundation.com. Donate or else. Have a good one, Kyle.
You're the man. Thank you, guys.